Meanwhile, Manchester United grabbing the headlines of the back pages in England after that 2-1 victory away against Luton. Højlund once again, of course, finding the back of the net. His early brace proved to be just enough to see Ten Hag's side grab all 3 points. They're in a good run of form at the moment. You take a look at that, that's 5 wins in a row, 6 wins out of 7 in all competitions. Marion Jan still with us. They're good now, Craig.
No, they are. There's a positive and there's a downside with this United debate argument. The results recently are much better. That's factual. You saw the graphics. The positives are, for me, in particular, Kobe Mino, who could be well in this England squad come the summer if Gareth Southgate lets the leash off a little bit. You know, you're going to go with Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips. So he's in there. Garnacho's form. Rasmus Højlund getting his goals now, looking comfortable. Those 3 kids carrying the team look really good. However, you have to look at these results in context of the teams that they're chasing at the top. That is Aston Villa and Tottenham. And when you look at how United have gone about their whole season, they've not ever really been in control of games. You know, when you look at Villa, who I also don't think they're a big possession side, have 58% possession in the last 4 games. Tottenham is 62. United was 46 in the 4 games as an average, and yesterday against Luton was only 42. Giving up 84 efforts on goal, almost double which Tottenham are. So when you look at the fact they're going up against these 2 for a possible spot in the Champions League, we're not even touching on how Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City dominate games. That's in a different stratosphere. Mm-hmm. So they're not even yet at the pace of these 2 teams ahead, who have had a wobble. But, you know, Villa were in second place at one point. I think they might even have been in first, but they were definitely in second. Tottenham were in there. United are coming at the moment with a bit of a late run, and yes, it is good, and it is better. But when you're a big spending club and a juggernaut like Man United, and you have all this new investment, and these people at Ineos watch the games, is being a counter-attacking team, even against relegation-threatened sides, is that going to be enough over the course between now and the end of the season to get you into the top 4? I don't think it is. And I think that's a big problem. Great start in the game against Luton, if we take that game as a game in a nutshell. Great start, 2-0 up. If that was any of those other teams, they would probably put their foot on the throat of Luton and go, this is how you do it. Luton looked great. And I just think if you're looking at it and you're a Man United fan, you've got to say, can we keep doing this, just being this counter-attacking side? And is that good enough to be mixing it with Villa and Tottenham? That's a big question mark. It's a million miles away from the 3 above them.
Here's the thing with Manchester United. And it's difficult to have a discussion about them because of what we know Manchester United to be. Let's be honest, Manchester United are not in the class of the top 3.
No.
We have to talk about Manchester United forgetting their spending in the context of can they sneak into the top 4. That is where Manchester United are right now.
And can they?
They can. I still think that Villa and Spurs are better than them right now. And I know they had a draw with Spurs. They beat Villa. I accept all that in this most recent run of theirs. But I still think, in terms of overall, I still think they're 6th best. That doesn't mean that they can't put a run together and all of a sudden find themselves in the top 4. So I'm trying to get away from focusing on who Manchester United used to be, what their spending suggests that they should be. They are not there. That bar has been lowered a long time ago. They are just hoping to sneak into the top 4, continue these good results, continue producing talents like Mainu, see him evolve, see Højlund continue to evolve, and I think you're on track in the right direction. But that's as positive as it can be.
Go on, Mario.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Look, in a situation where they are now, I think things like this is helping them, of course. You understand? Keeping them on the bounce. Your main striker that you made so much effort to bring over to your club, he's scoring now. What is he? 6 games in a row now. So in that sense, it's better. And also the psychological level of when I heard Ten Hag talking, he said we can achieve things and we're building things. Yeah, I know he's very good in playing the mind tricks, because that's what the same he did in Holland when he was at Ajax. So in that sense, yes. But I know. Look, as a club, they're going to play now 2 games. The 2 games are coming up. You understand? They got Fulham and Forest, the game, and then they got the big one. When they play City, and everybody knows when it comes to that City, like even when I spend my time in there, when those 2 meet, it's going to be a big test for Man United, because it doesn't matter where you are, regardless if you are at the bottom. When a derby comes, the league standard doesn't count anymore. It's just rivalry against rivalry. So that's why these 2 games that he comes up, it's going to get him into a level, and then we will see the real test coming up, because City wants the title, and you want your respect back in your city. So in that sense, I think where they are right now, they have to worry about making sure they can keep the momentum, because they're not winning cute. But even if you win, I prefer to win ugly sometimes than winning all the great games, guys? Because playing beautiful football and not winning, it hurts.
Here, I think he was shocked. I just don't think City as a whole, and I heard Stevie touch on it yesterday, kind of in the final third, it's been flat. I think it was flat a little bit in Copenhagen. They won. It was definitely flat against Everton the week before, until the 71st minute, when I think it was Haaland that actually scored. It might have been Haaland that scored. That was their first shot on target. And again at the weekend, they were lucky. Chelsea, particularly in the first half, did a great job on them. They put 4 up across the front line when they were pressing. Were a real danger in behind. But yeah, this I don't think Erling Haaland is going to let this affect him. His manager was a little irked with it after the game. In fact, Guardiola's been a little bit sensitive, both pre and post match recent games, very short with his answers, and maybe there's something into it that Arsenal and Liverpool are so strong, but yeah, he needs him to be on the ball, and he's had Erling Haaland that is in front of goal, a very unlike striker's performance from him, certainly at the weekend.
Yeah, listen, there's nothing about Erling Haaland in the past that suggests that a bad game or a few misses affects him. He's been able to shrug those off as well as anybody I've seen in the game. Stevie said yesterday that those 2 misses, and I have to agree fully, were timing issues. He's getting in the right place. He knows where to be.
Snatching.
And it's just...
like rushing it, you know what I mean?
Just sometimes you just jump half a second too early and you find yourself...
Well, you'd know about that.
Well, it's back to his college days, remember? Outfield.
I know what timing is when I see it. And I feel that's all it is with Erling Haaland.
Right.
And while Reyes, Chelsea on the day were the beneficiaries of those misses, you cannot rely on Erling Haaland getting it wrong for much longer. If you're Liverpool or Arsenal, that's not what you bank on. It's going to come good real soon for Erling Haaland, and once it does, you see the other side to him that we saw all of last season. So it's one of those, again, you put it down to one of those days. Could have been worse. At least you picked up a point, but now you've got to. And again, nothing about Erling Haaland has ever suggested that he goes into any kind of a shell.
Jan, you were saying before, you think he's peaked?
you Pinocchio with your nose always when you talk about what I have said, but it's quite interesting. I think that is a bit underestimated how long, when you're out for that long time, it takes some time to find a balance, to find a timing, and I think that was quite showing in the last game now. As Stevie was saying yesterday at the show, it's all about timing, and you saw that. And it's also, there have been some games this season, Manchester City haven't created enough chances. He had a brace against Everton, but as Craig was saying, I was at that game, I can remember, I didn't know good any chance before 70 minutes. They didn't create anything. That's what I think Pep is a bit nervous. But if you see the 3 up at the top now, the advantage for Liverpool is Salah. The advantage for Manchester City is Erling Haaland. They need to be fit. Like a game like yesterday, of course, Erling should have been the match winner now in the last game, meaning he didn't, 2 points lost. So I don't think that will affect him. I think it will get even more going. But then again, and I can also throw in a goalkeeper. If you're out for a while, you come in. It takes some time to find that timing, doesn't it, Shaka?
It took me a season, generally.
Yes? Oh, good. And Mario, away from Haaland, to Craig's point, why are City lacking that kind of swashbuckling football that we're used to, that brilliant attacking style?
the way Chelsea also played against them. If you look at what Gallagher did, you know, he played a lot against Rodri. And he during the game, if you watch the game, his focus was, I close the middle of the pitch for them. And then also when Rodri wants to get on the ball, I'm not going to make it that easy for him. So he put a lot of energy in that. He played a lot of times around him, you understand, and really like, it was not like, he wasn't like supporting Jackson in the sense of like attacking wise. He was more like doing his job in the sense of like, you cannot hurt us because we're going to wait and we're going to sit. And I think moments like that, Rodri is very important for that team. Why? Because he sets out the lines, he dictates the tempo. When you get him on the ball, he's that comfortable. He can really change the game for them. So what did Poch did? He put a player on there that could do the energy level and also could play the game when they got the ball. And I think that was a difference for City because there's not a lot of players, or a lot of teams, I mean, that face them like that. In the sense of like, try to find the triggery where they are good. If you look at Doku, you know, Malagusto had a great game against Doku. Why? Because Palmer was kind of helping him out too, blocking the lines off. So some of the things that City normally can handle in playing between the lines and things like that, it was very difficult for them. I think football-wise and tactical-wise, I think Chelsea had it till the moment when he started making the substitutions. I think the 71 minute, I think it was too early for him to take Palmer out. And when he took Palmer out, I felt like City start opening up a little bit more because he put a back line of 5 behind, you know, like Chalobah came in, and he had a back line of 5 players. And I was like, wow, why so many, you know, defending? You still have to try to score. And I think that kind of helped City in getting back into the game. And of course, you know how they scored. You understand, Chelsea scored a great goal and then they conceded. But the goal that they scored, it was for me was surprising that Sterling. It sounds maybe interesting, but he almost looked like he always got the better on Walker. It's an interesting situation between them two. The first game in the beginning of the season, I saw that already happening. That they kind of, I think they're friends, but you always want to do your friends one over. And then when the game got here, he let him come inside. You don't let your player come to his strongest foot. Checking inside and making him bend it with his right. Sterling is not the best striker of the ball anyway, but is he skillful? Is he smart? Oh, we clearly saw that.
They haven't lost since Villa Park, which is quite some time ago. So it's not panic stations.
No, but what's interesting is because of what's going on around them. That's what's kind of putting pressure on.
I've always felt that it is better that there's two teams in there, that the pressure isn't all in Arsenal, the pressure isn't all in Liverpool, although there's going to be internal pressure, of course, within those individual clubs. But there's two of them bashing away here, playing as well as each other. One of the things I'm seeing with City getting away from the attacking part of the game, which is clear as day, they're probably the best in Europe at it, or you could argue that, I suppose, with the way Liverpool and Arsenal are playing at the moment. But I think when you look at the cavalry that they've got available, they dominate teams more than any. But I'm starting to see, and have done for a while, at the back, the City of the season before last. Last year when they won they won the league and they won the Champions League and they were so strong, it almost seemed to me that they'd decided that, you know what, the defensive part of our game is as much as importance to us as the attacking. And we're going to make sure when we have the ball that we're in good positions defensively and we're not allowing that easy counter-attack that I think has undone them, particularly in European competitions for quite some time until they remedied it last year. But I think they've got away from that a little bit this year, and whether that's personnel and injuries, John Stones has been in and out, and I don't like Akanji so much. I really like Akanji as a defender, although I don't think he's been as good this year as last, but I don't really like him going into the middle of the park. Don't mind John Stones doing that job, but I don't really like Akanji when he has to do it. So they've got away from things that when they were so successful last year, there was a really good balance, in my opinion, between what they were doing offensively and what they were doing defensively. They were really solid at the back. They do not look solid at the back and haven't done for quite some time.